Let us now consider four different fiscal performance scenarios and discuss how to interpret them. The four scenarios are underperformance of a revenue, overperformance of a revenue, underperformance of an expenditure, and finally, overperformance of an expenditure. Over or underperformance of revenue can be for a number of reasons. Firstly, the budget may have been set too high or too low. Revenue collecting agencies are likely to submit conservative forecasts for what they can collect over the course of the year, as they want to overperform. However, there will always be pressure to collect more, as the more revenue a government collects, the more it can spend. This may result in undue pressure from the Ministry of Finance or the Chief Executive to increase revenue estimates, sometimes to an unachievable amount. There may be some external factors that impact revenue. For example, for Federation account revenues, the crude oil price is not something a state or even the federal government can control. It is based on global factors. It is also useful to compare the budgeted revenue for a given year to the actual collections from the previous years or 3 to 4 years, as this will provide a good indication of what is possible. When it comes to expenditure, things become even more complicated. However, one thing is very clear. It is against the law for an MDA to spend more than it has been appropriated. This is never a good situation. More broadly, the reasons and implications of over or under expenditure are far-reaching. There could be a general underperformance in revenue, meaning all ministries may have their expenditure allocation restricted to some extent, or a ministry may be allocated funds and have the funds released to them, but not able to spend them, perhaps because of delays in the procurement process or because contractors did not perform. It is important to look at what a ministry has achieved with its funds. This is what we call value for money, and we will talk about this more in subsequent video. Let's look briefly at two scenarios. A ministry may spend 100% of its budget provision but achieve all of what it had intended. Conversely, a ministry may only spend 70% of its expenditure but achieve more than 100% of what it wants to achieve. So expenditure figures alone only show half the picture. This puts emphasis on two things. Firstly, on the government to explain the reasons and implications of its fiscal performance in its various fiscal publications. And secondly, for citizens and other non-state actors to ask pertinent questions through the various engagement platforms.